oldest brothers. And yes, I guess I was kindly asked to be the best man, the honor of being the best man. Very exciting. I also get to be the MC, semi-photographer, and tie suspender coordinator. So I've had a few things to work on today. It's been good. So hopefully everybody's had a good time. But anyways, yeah, when I was kind of getting ready, trying to figure out what I was going to do for my toast, I did notice that most of the bridal party is not a millennial like me. They are Generation Z. There are also several Generation Z out there, so I figured maybe I would give my toast in their language so they may be better able to understand it. So let me try my best. What's up? Hey peeps. I know we just got done down in some bus and zaw, but I need to tell you about the time Cordog hit me up low-key. He said, hey bro, there's this top shelf chick named Jess. She's got me shook. And I said, whoa. So I told Cordog, I said, before you throw up a dub for the married life and Yeet being single, we need to make sure this new sis is all right. So once we dropped in and found out that Jess wasn't some basic babe and determined that she was all right, I told Cordog, I said, make sure this wedding isn't too extra. YOLO. Cordog hit me back and said, whole fam and peeps be in town, gonna be fire. And as I look out and I see all my homies here today, it just hits different. And I tell myself, if I were to stand at the top of Bridger and be ready to jump into the gnarly pow and drink the cold smoke, I would think, drop in, bro, drop in. So, ta-da, out. For the rest of you here today, I am the oldest sibling, second oldest sibling, Tyler. And truthfully, I did want to try and figure out a couple of traits that I would like for both of my sons to learn from Uncle Corey and Aunt Jessica. So what I thought was, I hope that they learn from Uncle Corey how to bluff in Texas Hold'em while holding deuce 7. It is a learned skill. So hopefully they get that from Uncle Corey. And I also hope that they would learn from him a heart of kindness. So if you know or don't know Corey, that is a thing that he exemplifies in his life. And kindness, thinking more highly of others, less of yourself, right? Acting selflessly, putting others' needs ahead of your own. It's a very important thing that Corey has demonstrated in his life. And very similar to when Jesus was here on earth, healing the sick, right? He showed kindness to their needs. So I'm hoping that our kiddos can learn that from their brother. I'm good, bro. So, Aunt Jessica, I thought about, I needed some help from Corey. I've had several interactions with Jessica, got to know her. Jess, she doesn't care if you call her Jess or Jessica, so don't worry that I'm like botching, I'm not. So anyways, but the thing is about Jess is that I wanted to find a trait that I thought that she could show in her life, and so I asked Corey, and he said, compassion would be one. I'm like, that is a good one. So I hope that our kids would learn from Aunt Jessica a heart of compassion. And you see, she is willing to step in, help the needs of others, right? But compassion isn't just having empathy or feeling bad for somebody else's poor circumstance, okay? The definition of compassion is being willing, so much so by what they're hurting from. It's a good one. That you're willing to suffer together. That is compassion. So, hope they learn that. Just kidding. God, it's the za. It's So, I hope they learned that from Jessica. And I also want to share with you guys in Ephesians, a book of the Bible, Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another. Forgive each other, just as Jesus forgave you. I practiced this thing like 80 times. I was crying at the gym. The guy at the treadmill next to me was like, just run. You're fine. Anyways, it's a true story. Anyway, so we'll get there. But I did want to say this. I know that marriage is very exciting. I've been married to my wife 9 years. She took off early. Gus was losing it. We'll get there. Okay? So they say, have kids. They say it's great. It changes everything. It's awesome. But anyways, being married 9 years, I say, like we're at the rehearsal dinner, we talked about marriage isn't always good, right? There's good years, there's bad years, there's kind of in between years, and all that. So I want to say this. When marriage isn't going great, be kind, right? When you look up, I think I gotta stop looking at Corey. I'm just gonna look over there. Great Anna. And out there or something. Anyways, so, and then I want to say, when life is hard and it's not going great, I want you to have compassion, right? Those are the two things. Celebrate everything. Make it count. We love you lots. Thank you. To Corey and Jessica. And Abby's next.
Just a fair warning, I am a fast talker. So if anyone wants to whack me if I'm talking too fast, just feel free.
Right there.
I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone that has made this day possible. We are so grateful for each and every one of you that has traveled here to celebrate with us. I got the honor of helping them plan this day. I will say there were definitely a few moments of frustration. In Corey's words, weddings are just one big show and there are so many stupid little details. That was just a glimpse of what I was working with. So let's be grateful that the groomsmen are wearing pants. I would also like to add that I started this speech 7 months ago, and Corey wrote his vows 2 days ago, which is ahead of schedule for him. Anyways, I want to take you back all the way in time to Corey's happiest, to the happiest day of Corey's life. December 11th, 2002. The day he was blessed with the funniest, kindest, most beautiful little sister. Today can be a close second, I guess. And Jessica, welcome to the happiest day of your life. The day you can finally say you're family with the coolest person you know, me. And your husband's pretty cool too. While writing this speech, I got to spend a lot of time reminiscing on my childhood and Googling the do's and don'ts of wedding speeches. The first thing Google said was to keep it around 2 to 5 minutes, which was a little hard because my first draft was 10 minutes long. The second thing Google said was to not write about yourself, but that's just a suggestion. Much like Corey in his younger years, he was known for only taking parental advice as a suggestion, especially when it came to his electronics and video games. Growing up as a second favorite was never easy for him. I personally witnessed his fiery temperament as a child when he expressed his anger through gut punches. Lightsabers became instruments of torment, and my fingers suffered the consequences of car windows clamping shut. And we can't forget the time he tipped over the wheelbarrow, pushed me in it, and sat on top. I never understood why he was such an angry child when he had such an amazing sister. I've been known as his little sister my whole life, and not to brag or anything, also his favorite sibling. Obviously, I was going to be the best man, but since I didn't want to wear a suit, he settled for Tyler. Corey and I are complete opposites. He's a nerd, I'm not. He's a boy, I'm not. I was an angel child. As for him, you get it. He was my best friend, and I was his worst nightmare. Even though I always told on him, I was able to convince him to play with me. We spent our days dressing up as princesses, matching lipstick and all. Barbie movies became our go-to on road trips, mainly because I was a bossy backseat companion. We spent endless hours playing Wii Resort and Mario Kart, which eventually turned into Rock Band, but as we grew up, our time grew shorter. There was one specific time when he had his friend Tony over. I so badly wanted to take part in the fun, but I was turned away. So I did what any bothersome younger sibling would do. I didn't leave the room. I played behind the couch, minding my own business. Turns out I was being too loud and interrupting their guide time, which led to my first experience of a foot down my throat. Luckily with a sock on, but no need to worry, I quickly resolved the issue by informing Mom, using my advantage as the youngest and favorite child. Though he let his friends torture me, Corey has always been my biggest supporter for as long as I can remember. He attended my volleyball games and cheer competitions even though he tried everything to get out of it. He helped me with my math homework when I was crying at the dinner table. We helped each other through grief and heartbreak, and most importantly, he showed me the true meaning of friendship. He taught me patience while we spent hours waiting in line for Disney rides, and we bonded on the endless laughs we had making fun of our parents. I'm lucky that I was able to grow up with a best friend that was always there for me no matter what. Corey has always had my back and never fails to help me with anything, especially directions. And I don't just mean where I'm going in life, but on the road. We're still figuring out how to remember my lefts and rights. Siblings are arguably the most important relationships you'll have in life. Friends come and go, parents leave too soon, and partners come later in life. The only person who's there from the very beginning is your sibling. They're the only person that gets to experience every stage of life with you. Your childhood mishaps, teenage rebelling, the adult struggles, and eventually the days when you become wrinkly and old. I've been lucky enough to be there for every stage of Corey's life this far. I've experienced his fascination with rocket launching, obsession with teleporting videos, forming burps into words, addiction to sandwiches and Chipotle, and everything in between. I always thought that I would look forward to this day, but the closer it got, the more I wished it wasn't happening yet. Just like the day he moved out. That was the most heartbreaking day of my life. Though I seemed relieved that I could take over his room with the bigger closet, I wouldn't be able to hear him knock on the wall when I knocked to him, sneak into the den while Mom and Dad were sleeping to continue our games, or wake up on every holiday waiting to go downstairs together. It was the last time under the same roof and the last time seeing him every single day. But today is the last day I get to have my best friend to myself. For here on out, I have to officially share him, and as we all know, I don't like sharing. But luckily the person I'm sharing him with makes it easy. I've seen my brother accomplish dreams, life goals, and find his person. I watched him grow into an amazing young man that would do anything to help a loved one or a stranger on the street. I am so proud of who he is and everything he has yet to accomplish. I don't know what I would have done if God didn't give me the privilege of having him as a brother. Being your sister is one of the things I'm most proud of in this life. As you can imagine, I'm incredibly protective of him, going to the extent of spending my recesses keeping a close eye on him to ensure nobody would pick on him. I was very hesitant when he told me his interest in a new girl. I remember thinking that nobody would ever be good enough for my brother and that nobody would be able to love him in the way that I do. And then I met Jessica. Don't look at me. I quickly discovered that she possessed the extraordinary ability to bring immense joy to him like no one else ever had. She came into this family like a ray of sunshine, instantly brightening up our lives with infectious laughter and genuine kindness. From the moment you walked into Mom's house, I had a sense of release. Oh my gosh, relief. I remember that day so vividly, probably due to the fact that I didn't say a single word. And as you know, that is very rare since I never shut up. But I think it was in that moment I realized you could be the one for my brother. And I knew it for sure at noodle night when you were dancing in the kitchen with 4 scones in hand. Even though you've only been in our lives for a year and a half, it feels like I've known you my whole life. I'm so grateful that God picked you to be my sister. There's no one else I'd rather tell my embarrassing stories and questionable life choices to. You understand me and what it's like to have terrible depth perception. We share the same 2 brain cells and confuse Corey most of the time. There's never a dull moment when we are together. You've been there for me, lending me a listening ear, offering me advice, and showering me with love and support since the first day we met. It is evident that your love and compassion knows no bounds, and I am grateful to have you as part of our family, and ecstatic that I can hand over the nerdiness to someone that actually understands it. I want you to know that you are not only a member of a family that will always have gas, but one that will always stand by your side and continue to love you for who you are. I will say there are a few things you should know if you don't know by now. If Corey ever frustrates you, I give you permission to call him Blueberry. He might get more angry, but the look on his face will be worth it. If you get sick of me tagging you along, that sucks. I have a built-in third wheel and I know where you live. Whenever you go to Mom's house for the holidays, she will be running around with the vacuum, probably vacuuming something unnecessary like the walls, but just go with it. At some point, Dad will ask you for help, and it will turn into being voluntold. Again, just go with it. You will learn that the Cottrells have a scramble and the Kretzes have a shuffle when trying to do anything. You tell me which is more organized, because I have yet to find out. When it comes to being part of this family, the only advice I have is to just go with it. As you step into this new chapter of life, I hope that you never forget to just go with it, no matter how frustrated or upset you may be. Celebrate all the little things because it will go by in the blink of an eye, and don't forget to live in the moment. Listen to Cody Johnson when he says, don't wait on tomorrow because tomorrow may not show. Say your sorries, your I love yous, because man, you never know.
To Corey and Jessica.
Hey.
Next we'll hear from
Hey y'all, sorry, I cannot memorize a speech, and I don't talk super fast. I stutter most of the time, so this will be a very different speech. But I'm Emma, and I'm Jess's best friend, which is such a privilege to say in and of itself. I am just so thankful that we get to be here today celebrating these two amazing, wonderful people. There's no one else I would rather share an anniversary with. But while thinking about what to say for this speech, I realized that I don't know Corey all too well, sadly. However, I do know Jess and her thoughts on Corey. So I will speak to that. Sorry, I'm very emotional. When I met Jess, she was extremely adamant about not dating or being in a committed relationship. I specifically remember her saying she was repulsed by commitment at the moment. However, through the grace of God and his desire to flip our lives around when we least expect it, Jess met Corey. She told me how nervous she was to commit to a new relationship, but also so excited. She spoke to his kindness, his grace, his soul, and his patience. She spoke so highly of his love for God and his desire to embed God's love into their relationship. And I was so excited for her to feel that love. I can't look at you. So excited for her to feel that love from someone that God shows us every day. I knew that Corey was the perfect man for her because he wanted to love her the way God tells us to. And the way that I love her. So thank you, Corey, for choosing to love her and devote your life to her every day. I could not think of a better man to show her constant compassion, support, and kindness. So with that, I am thankful I get the privilege to be here today with all of these family and friends to declare their love for Jess and Corey. We pray love, perseverance over your marriage and hope in your future. And we love you. Congratulations.